Yo, this is WizKid. Power 95, where music lives.
Partner is the laundry detergent that gets the job done. This multi-purpose brand is designed with you in mind, catering to all your needs. The soap bar and liquid detergent was created and added to S. Kumar's line of products. This addition guarantees to be mild on the skin, allowing the bar soap to be used as a beauty bar and ideal for hand washing. The liquid soap with added softener leaves your clothes with a bright clean while removing all odor, dirt, and grease. The liquid soap is ideal for your appliances, ensuring great performance. For luxurious laundry detergent, choose a
We
Partner.
plan for every major life event, from birthday parties to baptisms, and celebrating a life well lived deserves the same thoughtful planning. Beacon's Rest Easy plan is designed to give your loved ones the comfort of knowing that they can do just that. With no underwriting and cover for up to 6 family members that includes certain injuries, this plan can be yours for as little as 75 cents per day. Call us at Beacon or log on to beacon.co.tt for more info today.
2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6.
Education multiplies their chances and places the world of opportunity in their hands. No matter where they are in the world, make sure they're prepared for their journey back to school with Western Union. School fees, books, room and board, whatever the reason. Knowledge, independence, opportunity. Western Union, moving money for better.
Hello, 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 hello. Good morning again, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome to another ladies' room. It is Tuesday, January 4th. Yep. 4 days out of 365 already gone. Good morning, Saucy Bane. I realize you're giving real trouble on the books these days, but you're spitting some facts. Good morning, Rochelle. Good morning, Amanda. Good morning, Andrea. Andrea, you're up and at 'em early today, boy. Yeah, you're definitely making the wrongs today. How's everybody keeping? Everybody good? Everyone had a good night? Good morning, Nessa. Good morning, Keisha. Good morning, Rita. Yeah, I'm feeling much better. Just the what you call the thing? I get a cough ever so often. This cough with a lot of stuff, and running nose, and still feeling that congestion on my chest. Yeah, it's still there. But for the most part, I've been doing a lot of what would we do without mothers? I swear. Been doing a lot of. Thank God I grew up on. And my friend Patrick Dells always get upset when people say bush, but herbs. Back in the day, we called it bush. Practically everything was bush. Lemongrass, sugar dish, big time. We used to call it bottom leaves. Now everybody's about bay leaves. We grew up on those things. Didn't know about milk and sugar till later on. So we grew up on drinking it like that, like first thing in the morning, last thing in the night. If you're lucky, you'll get some milk thrown in there. But my mother swears by it. She lives by it, and she's been giving me a whole lot of those, reminding me about those things, and not so much the milk, because milk contributes a lot to mucus buildup. And I don't do much of it. Occasionally I drink milk, but for the most part I drink my tea just like that. Especially if you do it in the tea bags, just drop it in the water and no sugar, no nothing. So mom has been helping me with reminding me to drink and steam and all those things. But herbs is definitely um the way to go, man. Trust me. Because when I started doing it every morning, and you have those things in your yard and you go buy it. Imagine I have fever grass or lemongrass in my yard, and I bought lemongrass tea bags. Listen, we are just so ridiculous. Hey, y'all, come on the live and share it. Let's get into the conversation. We have lemongrass, and you buy lemongrass tea bags. We have turmeric, the real natural turmeric, and I bought turmeric tea bags, turmeric and ginger. We have the natural ginger, and I bought turmeric and ginger tea bags. We are so ridiculous about our health. It's not even funny. We have all these things here. We're blessed to live in a place you just throw something out in your yard and 2 days you get up and you see something growing and you're like, what is that? And you don't have to do much. You just throw it out. The rich fertile soil that we have, we are so blessed here, and we take these things for granted. And when we come up sick, we try to run get it and talk about boosting immunity, but it's not something that happens overnight, and we've seen it for the past couple months. When COVID came out, everybody was on this boosting immunity craze and thinking, what, if I just do it now for a couple of weeks, I'll be good, and then back to the same old. But it's something that you have to constantly do. I know it's easier said than done, but we seriously gotta work on our eating habits in 2022. Yeah, the internet dropped. I'm sorry. Sometimes it could be so very frustrating, this internet thingy. Anyways, we're back up, so let's go. Yes, Maria, I am asthmatic. As a child, that was my worst nightmare, especially the wheezing, and you can't breathe. But over the years, I sort of, it got less and less. One of the things they gave you lizard tail. Imagine they're giving you lizard tail to drink for asthma. Lizard tail, the herb that is illegal. Drink it, boil it, and drink it. I think that's what worked for me. The illegal herb. That's what worked for me over the years. When you drink it, boil it and drink it. Not the smoking part, but the drinking part. Um, that's what worked for me over the years. So yeah, I remember they gave me a lizard tail. They said that worked for asthma. A lizard boiled lizard tail and gave you the water to drink. No, it's Hey Marlene, hey Christelle, Narissa, welcome back guys. Karen Bailey, Akira in Texas, Ambika, good morning. Chemo, how are you? Brian, big up yourself, man. Queen Bee and Rita and Lewis and Lois, Fatima and everybody, Linda Pearl, that's here every day. Thank you. Electra, how are you guys doing? It's day 4. Are we settled down? Can we have a seat? Or are we standing by the door still? Watching to see what's happening in 2022, or can we pull up a chair, as my friend Eddie would say? Are we a little bit comfortable, or are we playing the watching game still? Well, let's see how that goes. Good morning, Natty. This morning we had the press cabinet briefing before we jump into the topic, and I must say the tone this morning and the whole atmosphere was one that wasn't, it was calm, it was reassuring. You looked at it and felt a sense of calmness, like compared to where we were a couple months ago. And I must say, kudos to the Minister of Health and the CMO. I really enjoyed this morning's press briefing. It was one of the better ones in a long time, because people want reassurance. You don't want to have your people who's supposed to be in leadership positions have you panicking and they're looking stressed and they're worried and you hear stressing. You want to feel that sense of reassurance. And I really got that from them because, it's been a year plus. So, like you see, almost said, we're in a better place now, a better understanding of the virus. And as the Minister of Health said, we are at a place where, you know what? we can't lock down. And I think that's what everybody ran to the press conference to hear this morning, to hear if there were going to be a lockdown announcement or curfew again. And I was happy to hear the Minister of Health say, you know what? We got to learn to live with this. And we've been preaching this for the longest while. COVID isn't going anywhere anytime soon. And every time there's an outbreak, we can't just lock, shut, because it's not going anywhere, even though you lock and shut, you know? So, was happy to hear him say we have to learn to live with it. No need to panic anymore. We have a better understanding of it. We are not where we want to be vaccination wise. I think we are about 30%. But at the same time, people seem to have a better understanding. As with everything else, there's going to be a couple hard-headed ones who wants to do their own thing and believe what they believe, and the conspiracy theories, and that's COVID isn't real. And you're gonna find those. No matter what you say or do, you're gonna find those. You could preach until you're blue in the face. They are gonna believe what they want to believe for whatever reason. And then they have other people fueling that. And then you still have to keep on doing what you're doing. Still have to be careful, still have to follow the protocols, still have to be safe. And Lydia, I'm not taking part in that one at all. Yeah, the questions are good too. The questions are timely. So we are in a good place in terms of education and getting a handle on it, but we can't relax, we can't let down our guard. We still have to continue to be extremely vigilant. We still have to continue to be extremely vigilant. So and continue to follow the protocol. So we just have to remind each other of that. Remember, the isolation period is for after you test positive. A lot of folks are testing now, and I knew the numbers were going to jump. Remember, I said it yesterday after the holiday weekend. Folks out ringing in the new year. I knew we were going to see the numbers definitely rising. So as of yesterday, the 3rd, we have 193 new confirmed cases with 624 active cases, 12 new recoveries, no deaths, no hospitalizations. So folks are getting tested. The health centers are there. If you're displaying symptoms, go get tested. Don't try to figure it out on your own. Make sure you know your status, so of course you can protect the rest of your family and your co-workers and what have you. So if you're feeling or you've been exposed to somebody who tested positive, you are advised to go get tested. Alrighty. So remember, the isolation period is for after you test positive. Fully vaccinated duration for isolation is 10 days. Unvaxxed duration for isolation 14 days, and the isolation period can be shortened. Fully vaxxed person can clear isolation in 5 to 7 days by doing an antigen test and getting a negative result. All right. So I maintain there are advantages, but at the end of the day, it is up to you whether you want to or not to get tested. All right. So yeah, I got that on. Okay, doke. So today we wanted to talk. Somebody sent me this, and it's a situation that they're dealing with. They're saying that the person loves them, right? But their children hate him. So she's with this man who loves her, loves him. Everything is nice. Everything we're going good, but her children, does not like him. They hate him. So she wants to know: would you marry him? Would you marry someone whose children don't like you? That is the debate today. What would you do? We need some answers. Men, women, what would you advise this person here to do? You love somebody, they love you, but your children hate them. Would you marry the person still? Ask me to marry him, but my children don't like him. I mean, there's a lot of variables to take into consideration. So let's talk about it. What would you do in this situation? Remember, you can send your voice notes 440-9595, or you can send a WhatsApp message, or you can call the same number 440-9595. It's Lydia, you distracted me. Salo, listen, Salo, Y'all keep distracting me. I want to meet Kongori for the longest while. Every time I say I'm going to Victoria, I can't reach. I really want to meet this man. He has me in stitches and crying. I have not seen anything new from him for a while, but I really want to meet him, right? Um, Good morning, Kongori. I love Kongori. I swear. Um, Rihanna, so the age of the children, they're below, hold on, they're below 15. Um, no, hold on. Let me make sure I have the correct information. Okay, so it's three. It's an 8-year-old, 14-year-old, and 17-year-old. Yeah. So, um, what would you do in this situation if you love somebody but your children don't like the person? Now, to me, it depends. If I have seen firsthand how my significant other interacts with my children, or if I see he's a very good person, deals with them in a respectful way, blah blah blah. I have no need for concern in terms of the way he treats them or deals with them. I wouldn't necessarily say no. I wouldn't marry him because of my children not liking him, especially if it's a case where they don't have a reason to dislike him. As, only if there are some children, it doesn't matter who you are with, that person could treat you like a queen, could put you on a pedestal, but you're just not their dad. And especially they want you and their dad to still be together. Doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter what you say, doesn't matter how you treat them, they are going to be mean as hell to that person just because you're not my father. So, I mean, to me, if he was around long enough and treated them with absolute kindness and respect, then I would consider it. I mean, children get hurt from divorce and, separation, and that anger can linger. They might not like anyone new that enters into your life for that matter. It doesn't matter who comes, they just would not like you because you're not their dad. So I would find out the real reason why they don't like that person first. It wouldn't just dismiss it or ignore why they don't like you, because he could be acting all nice in my face and in my absence, be pinching and being mean to my children. So I think it requires, because they're all grown enough to have the conversation with 14, 17, have a conversation with them and like, okay, what's the deal here? Why is it you don't like James or John? What's going on? Speak to me. And make them comfortable enough to just talk to you about it, not make them fearful or harbor any whatever resentment towards the person that you're not aware of. You're thinking everything is honky dory. We have a nice little family structure set up here, but hey, behind my back, it's a different story. So maybe he needs to have the conversation. Um, Someone says the children know their father is a lying drink, but they want you to stay with him. Never married a man. Eh? So that's the question. What is the basis for the dislike? If there is a reason for it, then obviously you have to consider your children's feelings. Man come, man go, woman come, woman go. Children will always be your children. Um, Children. So Rihanna says, I feel we need to examine why the kids don't like him. Children are super perceptive and they've probably seen something you're not. That could be true as well. When you're in love, you sometimes miss all the big red flags flying in the wind. You sometimes miss things that they pick up on because you're so in love and you want it to work. So you ignore a lot of signs. And a lot of the times people are really nice in front of your children, and behind your back it's a different story because they want to impress you. So they'll go all out. But children probably will pick up on little mean ways or little remarks that you don't. So I don't think you should completely dismiss it. But at the same time, we need to have a conversation. You can't just completely dismiss, okay, well, you don't like him, that's your business. I'm the adult here, that's my man. So whether you like it or not, this is what I want. They are part of the family too. It's not like they're moving out. I mean, if they're like in their 20s, 21, listen, I don't care about whether you like my man or not. That's your business. You're a man, grown man. Go find your own woman to like. It's not that. It's they're living in the house. They're part of the family. You still have to consider their feelings. That's why they say when you buy the cow, you buy the calf and the whole thingy. So even if you pick up somebody that and you have children, you have to consider how your children feel about them because it's not going to be comfortable in that house. Imagine you're dealing with somebody and your children don't like them for whatever reason. He's going to be under pressure as well. And at some point, it's going to put pressure on the relationship. And before you know it, hey, we're in divorce court. It's going to bring some pressure. So this needs a conversation. Everybody, 8, 14, 17 needs a conversation. Sit, talk about it, and not just dismiss, okay, well, I'm grown. Someone says the children will never like him because he's not their real father. That too. Um, Another person says first they'll have to find out why their children like him or her, and is it because he's not their father? So you think before she get married, she should sit down with the children and the man and figure this out. I've got a lot of responses on the WhatsApp. Yeah, send some voice notes now. I'll make a much throat dry, having to read everything. Um, Someone says if he loves me and loves my kids and treats us right, my kids are not my kids are only going to be with me until they move out. My husband will hopefully be with me for the rest of my life. So yeah, I would. The kids will slowly get over things the older they get. Another person says absolutely not. My children's happiness and safety are important too. I will not jeopardize that for the sake of having a man in our lives. Another person says kids always comes first. Sit them down and figure out why they don't like him. It may be because he isn't their dad, or maybe something much deeper. Always respect your kids enough to talk to them about it first. Another person says sounds like my dad. He loves her. She hates us. He married her anyway. She doesn't even like him. This person says not at all. I refuse to make my daughter live in a house with a man she does not like. This person says my kids are grown. As long as he's not being disrespectful towards my kids, I would absolutely marry him. Someone says absolutely yes. My kids are just about grown. Mama has to be happy, and as long as he isn't doing anything to them, everyone will be all right. Laura says when I was a younger woman, I made the mistake that most young women do and said yes. Now it would be a hard no, and my kids are grown. Someone says, looks like a lot of y'all will be single for a long time. It's normal for kids not to like a new boyfriend because it's not their father. But if the new boyfriend ain't done nothing wrong to the child, then work can be done for them to get along. It's not about putting him first because, like I say, if he ain't done nothing wrong, that's just letting your child get their own way. So yeah, you'll never find love. What if they do that with every single man you bring into the home? They have a problem or they just don't like him just because they don't want to see you with anybody else but their dad. That's a good point. That's a good point. Another person says they all feel the same way. She should have a separate conversation with each child to make sense out of nonsense. Children never want you to be no other man than their father. That's why the introduction of a new partner is also important. The way it's done, the conversations that takes place before. Keep them coming, guys. Someone here says I would research it further. A marriage and family therapist once told me kids not liking a new partner is okay and quite normal. The new partner not liking the kids is a deal breaker. Every situation is different. That makes sense. Kids not liking a new partner is okay and quite normal. The new partner not liking the kids is a deal breaker. I like that. That makes a lot of sense. Someone says my friend growing up didn't like her stepdad. Her mom married him anyway. Turns out he was messing with her. Wow. When she told her mom, she slapped her and called her a liar. By the age of 12, he was raping her. Now she's a very messed up person. All because her mother picked a man over her. Remember that sometimes your kids have a good reason not to like your man. Which happens a lot of times. And it's not just your girls anymore. Wow. Someone says, first of all, these kids still grown and in grown folks' business. If he loves my kids and treats them right and they still don't like him, I still would marry him because Kids can be brats, and once they're grown and living, my husband is still gonna be there. Okay. This person says it literally would depend on why my children don't like him. It's a valid reason. If they're just being little haters, then yes, I'll still marry him. My boys are almost out the house. If it's not valid, they'll be alright. All of it still be alright. Um, Someone says, well, I hear a lot of BS here. When I was a kid, I didn't like no one my mom dated. The man she's with now been together for about 20 years. I grew to like him. It took a little bit longer on my brothers too, but eventually they did. They're still together and I love him dearly. As long as he isn't hurting your child, it is your decision. So don't be so quick on the no. You raise your child, don't let the child raise you. Someone someone says, let me be totally honest. And I'm speaking from experience. When my stepdad came into our lives, I hated that man. He did nothing wrong for me to dislike him. I just didn't like the fact that he was now a member of our home and my father wasn't. My dad and I had a very good relationship prior to him moving out and getting divorced. And I never wanted my mom to be with anyone else but him. I'm saying all of this to say sometimes you don't even need a reason. The reason just he's not dad, my biological dad. Later on, I got to I got to love him, and of course we are good now. I even apologized to him for making his life a living hell because trust me, I did. I tried everything under the sun to make him move out, but he stood his ground. And here they are 20 something plus years later, him and my mom, they're still together. See what I mean? Y'all can be so mean. Probably like, put all kind of salt in the man tea for sugar and stressing out the poor man. If the man didn't have good, as my friend would say, if the man constitution wasn't strong, he moved out a long time ago. So I guess it depends on how you feel about the person, because when children make up their mind to not like you, boy, imagine just in little relationships and not even thinking about marriage, and you're dealing with somebody who has a child or children, and how mean they can be for no reason, no matter what you do. You're giving them like money, they're taking it. You're doing little thing, they're taking it, but it still don't like you. Every reason they get to disrespect you, they take it. And you know you can crack a lash on them, so you have to stay right there and take it like a man or a woman. But it all depends on how you feel about a woman. If you're that in love with a man, and like I know numerous of our listeners are saying, if the man has not done anything to your children to make you feel concerned or be concerned about, then by all means go right ahead and tie the knot. Um, Susie said depends. Sometimes children dislike the new partner because they think they're trying to replace the actual parent. Each situation has to be taken as an individual event. A lot of kids don't like the step parent simply because they aren't the parent. If this is the case, yes, I would definitely get married. They'll come around, and yes, they'll be all right. Um, Someone says it's a negative for me. Kids see things adults don't normally see. The better question is, why does the kids not like him? That's what we need to know. We need a follow up from the parent after speaking to each child to find out why they do not like him. Find out why, because sometimes if the kids are seeing him as a threat, someone who's going to take their mama away from them. They don't like him for a reason. You need to find out why. Is it that they don't like him as a person? Or is it that they don't like the fact that he's replacing the presence of their father? Different factors to consider. This person here says, my mother never stuck on me and had me around toxic men growing up. I will always make sure my kids love whoever I'm with first. Just because someone loves you doesn't mean they're good for you. And let me see, I got a couple more. There's a lot of responses. Oh, nope. Someone says I'm married now, but if I was a single mother, I definitely wouldn't. Too many children are being physically and sexually abused by these so-called boyfriends and step-parents. As a child, you're your child's advocate. Find out why your child doesn't like a particular adult. Another one says, love is blind. Save yourself from a life of misery and listen to your kids. Children are sensitive to things of the spirit, and they can see things you are probably most definitely overlooking. Another one says, he gotta go. I don't care how much he loves me. My children come first, and how they feel about a man is priority. Kids really can see monsters. If my children were still young, no, I wouldn't. No, I'm not asking you to do no compliments. Yeah. So and that's a no for me, dog. He needs to love the kids more than me. Period. But I didn't say they don't. He doesn't love them. What they're saying is they don't like him. It's not saying that he doesn't love the kids. Never. Someone says your children are completely dependent on you for the living environment and childhood experience. I wouldn't bring someone I knew they hated into their home full time and force them to live with them. Hypothetically, someone says I would. My kids would need to have valid reasons for hating him. Otherwise, they'd have to learn to live with him and grow to love him. Can be controlled by bratish, spoiled behavior. Good morning, Auntie. How are you? Good morning, Auntie Karen. Um, good morning, Uncle Frank. Hope all everyone is good today. Good morning. Olive says this need a family tete big time. They need to have that conversation. We really need to. Someone says reminds me of the movie Parent Trap. Train children, say all they train children to see the boogeyman, so they're good at that. Hold on, I think I got about three more comments before we wrap up. Sometimes children can be territorial. This person says, I sure was when my mom got married, considering it was only just us for a very long time before she decided to marry my stepdad. I didn't like him at first, but he eventually grew on me as he treated my mother and me and my siblings very well. So a lot of variables you have to take into consideration. So we can't just come out right and tell the lady, leave the man without first knowing, okay, what is prompting these feelings? What's causing these feelings? What is he doing or not doing that's, causing your children to not like him? And I think the very first step, again, like I said, is having the conversation, talking to them, whether as a group or individually, because when they're together, they probably might just decide, we're gonna stick up. But if you separate them, they might have different. When the rest people as a group, they separate you and question each one individually. So maybe you can question them individually to find out, well, what's going on? What is about him that you don't like? And then you could probably have a meeting after with him and have a general conversation. So you don't want to just dismiss how they feel about the person, and at the same time you don't just want to kick the man out because your kids say they don't like him. Because what if that's the same thing with every man that comes through your home or your life? They're gonna dislike him on the grounds that he's not their dad, he's not their biological dad, even though he's given them no reason whatsoever to dislike him. um he is not mean to them, he's not disrespectful to them, you or them, but they just don't like him because he's not their dad. So it's something that requires the conversation with everybody involved, all the children involved. And if they do what they say have merit and it's genuine, then you probably would have to miss this boat. Yeah. But don't just dismiss everything or dismiss everyone and say, okay, well, it's my life and my happiness. And, because if they're living in the house, trust me, it's not going to be peace. It's not going to be peaceful for anyone at all. It's going to be constant chaos and toxic, and you don't want that sort of energy. All right. That's someone says that's a grown-up decision, not a child's decision, no matter what age your child or children are. My daughter was not asked. I changed my last name without asking her. By the end of the conversation, she said, it's okay, mom. It's okay, mom. And that was it. Someone says not because no, because I'm not about having my kids miserable or make them grow apart from me. It's something they're seeing that I'm not seeing because I'm so in love. If I marry him without understanding their point of view, things may not last between him and I anyways, because I realized at the last minute what my child saw. But then by then my children are gone and the damage is done. It'll be too late. This woman says my stepfather was awesome, treated me as if I was his own. I guess my mom made sure he was a good man before they married. My mom asked me how I felt about it. I was happy. I think there has to be a comfort level. Just saying. If he loves my kids and treats them with respect, then yes. Kids don't even like their own parents sometimes. Someone says I would. I'm 40 and not getting younger, but will eventually move out and move on. I deserve happiness too. Maybe one day when they mature, they will revisit the situation and understand. For real, sometimes parents, children can't even stand you as they own because my children are little and grown. That's I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. Anyways, a lot of comments. So WhatsApp is like busting at the seams. But nevertheless, guys, thank you so much for chiming in. Someone says you should not have time, you should not have your kids dictate your relationship. Pay attention, be observant, talk to your kids about him to find out what they think about, but mostly how he's treating them. Then you can determine if he's a good fit for you and your children. Totally agree. Totally agree. Can't just get up and say, oh, well, my kids don't like you. Goodbye, adios. See you around sometime. Sometimes they don't even have a reason. They just don't like dude because he's not their dad. And doesn't matter who man come in. Could be Prince Charles, Harry, William. Long as he's not their biological dad, no dice. You're not getting an easy pass. And they go about making that man life miserable. Listen, see, people might think it's like no big deal to date somebody or be with somebody who have children, but it's a lot of work. Because you don't only have to win the approval of the mother, but you also have to win their little hearts as well. That's a lot of work. So if you're getting into a relationship with somebody who has children, be prepared for that, especially children who are teenagers. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. All right. Good. Drew Silva, whatever is his name. It doesn't matter who it is. Once they decide they like you, they like you. So if you figure you could win that round, then by all means. But hey, catch you guys tomorrow. Let me just let you know, tomorrow I have a guest. Tomorrow we'll be talking about. I'm gonna need the women to come into the room. Um, tomorrow. Yeah. So we're talking tomorrow. The conversation will be on the role of women in society. How do we take up space while remaining in our femininity? So that's tomorrow, and we're gonna how much is too much? Yeah, because there's a lot of coaches and this and that and the other seem to be dragging women these days. The Kevin Samuels and whoever else seems to be doing a number on women these days. So we're gonna I'll be talking to Andrea. Yeah, Andrea Rapier, not you, Andrea. Next, Andrea Rapier. So women tomorrow. We want to talk to women tomorrow and get the men in on the conversation. All right. So it'll be our very first one. Conversation, our very first interview, sort of. We don't do interviews, we have conversations tomorrow. So looking forward to seeing you guys back. Alrighty, so thank you so much, Escobar Variety Store, Beacon Insurance, and Western Union for taking care of us for another day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Alrighty, have a good one, y'all.